Tonight on News 5 Live, Christian Espat surrenders to police while his alleged accomplice Michael Brown has been charged with 3 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder following Sunday's bloodbath in San Pedro. National Creole Council joins residents of Yemery Grove and other non-Maya village leaders in the land dispute down south. And the Chamber of Commerce and the Upper House take on the USH bill following the tragic loss of life on Wednesday. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Desde las áreas urbanas hasta las comunidades rurales, la conexión importa. El acceso a Internet es crucial para continuar el desarrollo social y económico. Es por eso que Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional, continúa invirtiendo millones de dólares para expandir sus redes de telefonía móvil y fibra óptica en todo Belice. Miles de usuarios móviles y viviendas, especialmente a lo largo de las carreteras y en comunidades rurales, ahora disfrutan de los beneficios de la infraestructura resiliente de Digi. Nuestra telecomunicación nacional continúa liderando la transformación digital a través de su tecnología avanzada y compromiso a la excelencia. Con DigiWallet, beliceños en áreas urbanas y rurales tienen acceso fácil y seguro a una amplia variedad de servicios financieros a través de sus dispositivos móviles. Y con el reciente lanzamiento de DigiTV, nuestra telecomunicación nacional se ha convertido en el único proveedor de servicios de reproducción cuádruple en Belice. Clientes ahora pueden ahorrar con nuestros paquetes DigiOne que ofrecen internet residencial, servicios móviles, teléfono residencial y servicios DigiTV convenientemente en un solo lugar. Digi permanece comprometido en brindar acceso a servicios de alta calidad, confiables y accesibles y crear oportunidades para un mejor futuro. Forme parte de la transformación y viva la conectividad como nunca antes. Porque con Digi, la conexión importa.
Everything is better electric. Be more efficient with electric vehicles and transforming your home with Energy Star electric appliances and power tools. This helps to create a greener and cleaner world for the next generation. Energize your world with BL.
With the steady increase in prices, it's hard to hold on to your hard-earned cash. Well, here at Benny's, prices are steadily falling, making it easier to stretch your dollars. Prices are slashed on electrical products, LED lights, plywood, and wheelbarrows. Yes, we have the cheapest in town. And with X massive season going on right now, get store-wide discounts on select products from now through the summer 31st. Visit a Benny's store near you today, where the prices just keep on falling. Benny's, quality and savings.
Down goes the champ! Down goes the champ! Well, the question is, are they down and out? IBL semi-final basketball continues this Friday night, October 27 at the Belize Civic Center, 7:30 p.m. It's Game 2 in the best of 3 series, and it will be loud. In Game 1, BWS Pressure Team put a spanking on the defending champs, Rico Blacks toughing up tours. Will the champ rebound in Game 2 from that massive beating and force a decisive Game 3, or will they fold and allow the BWS team to lay the pipe on them Friday night?
I man wanna lay the pipe.
And then
Let's get ready to rumble! Police and thief in a shootout.
8:30 will be Game 2 between the police department and the Ministry of Health squad. The police drew first blood and gunned down the MOH team. Can the health team respond? Or will police bury them from long distance? Who will advance to the grand finale? Who will bling the ring? Ring out the entire family this Friday night, 7:30 p.m. at the Belize Civic Center for the Benny's Inter-Office Basketball Semi-Final game. The after party at Thursday.
Inter-Office Basketball League, just another level.
Sponsor.
Just another level. Just another level.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, October 26th. I am Sabrina Daly. Tonight, the search for wanted man Christian Espat has ended as he handed himself into Corozal Police this morning, accompanied by attorney Lyndon Jones. He was transferred to the San Pedro Police Station, where he is now detained pending the outcome of an investigation against him, as it relates to Sunday night's triple murder in San Pedro. Espat and Michael Brown are accused of the murder of 3-year-old Amari Rodriguez, 25-year-old Delmar Rodriguez, and Carlos Chi, as well as the attempted murder of 4 others who were shot during the attack in the San Pedrito area. The other suspect, Michael Brown, who handed himself into San Pedro Police on Tuesday, is charged with 3 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder, and will be arraigned on Friday in the magistrate's court. Witnesses who were in the area when the incident happened have named both men as the 2 who ambushed the golf cart that Delmar Rodriguez was driving that night. Rodriguez and his common-law wife, Carla Cardova, and their 3-year-old daughter, Amari, had gone out to change a check and eat at Sunday Toes Lounge and were returning home before midnight on Sunday, when 2 men opened fire on them and their friends, Carlos Chi and Leonel Cornejo. The 4 persons who were wounded were pedestrians who were in the area at the time. I think this was...
On Thursday, the police arrested him at his house in San Pedro. They took him to the station and they hit him really bad. All of his face and head were bruised. His eyes were swollen. He was very ill. And then on Friday, they called telling me that they went to Chetomal to check the doctor. So we decided to go see him there early on Saturday morning. We went to Chetomal to visit him. When we arrived, we saw him very ill. I never thought that the police, well, they've done it before, but this time it was really bad. They hit him and he has missing teeth. This is not fair, what they did. Every time that he is arrested, he gets beat up. He does nothing. He does not even come out of the house because if they see him, they arrest him and beat him. I think this is very unfair because the law is the law. They cannot be hitting him. This is an injustice. I told my son, I saw him very ill in the bed. What we did is to feed him there. He was very ill that he could not get up. I understand the pain of the families because I have experienced it too. My 3 sons have been murdered. I know what it feels like. It hurts. I express my condolences to the families.
Sunday night's triple murder in the San Pedrito area of San Pedro happened at a location where the lighting is poor at night, and the killers took advantage of that condition, as well as the mangroves nearby in an attempt to conceal their identities. Lighting in some neighborhoods is an issue that the San Pedro Town Council has been addressing over the past year. Mayor Wale Nunez told News 5 that while the council has already installed streetlights in a number of the communities, there are others that may also need as the island continues to expand. Nunez invites residents in those areas to notify the town council so that the lighting situation could be addressed.
We have done a lot of work with respect to lighting, but there are certain areas that, you know, you don't reach out to those areas until Somebody tells you, well, we need a light here, we need a light here, and it's unfortunate, but it's something that it's difficult to get to all these areas at the same time. No? Sometimes there is a light in the area, but one of the bulbs or something burnt out, and then people need to report, because on the post it has a number so that we can get to it. If there are some areas that people will request lighting to us, we try our best to get it done as quick as possible, because we know that there are some areas that do need the lighting. It would be good to get that feedback from the people and the residents so that we can get to those places.
26-year-old Michael Llewellyn Flowers, accused of raping a 17-year-old female minor inside Eruption nightclub in October 2022, will stand trial in the January session of the High Court. That's the decision handed down by a senior magistrate earlier today when Flowers appeared in courtroom number 3. This morning, Corporal Edgar Poot submitted 28 witness statements and 18 documentary exhibits against Flowers before closing the Crown's case in the preliminary inquiry. Flowers, who was unrepresented, was informed that based on the evidence presented by the prosecutor, she found that a prima facie case had been made against him. With that, he was committed to stand trial in mid-January of next year. Bail, which had been granted through the High Court, was subsequently revoked, and he was given a new bail of $10,000, plus 2 sureties of $5,000, which he was able to meet this evening. Coming up, non-Maya village leaders hold press conference in Belize City. We'll have more details when we come back.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RFNG Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RFNG Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RFNG Insurance, a Road Group company.
Managing your mental health this October and November 2023. Mental health and well-being is a universal human right and are fundamental to enjoying a good and meaningful life. It's not always easy to understand our emotions or to accept or express how we feel. Not sure how to ask for help when you're struggling? Stop. Don't ignore your emotions. If you want to talk about how you are feeling, send a free SMS with the word TIPS to YouReport at 886 or scan the QR codes to access our mental health support.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Today, the National Creole Council hosted a press conference at Swift Hall in Belize City. It brought together community leaders from Yemery Grove and other non-Maya villages in Toledo to discuss the issue of land disputes in the South. The National Creole Council, as an interested party, has been observing this issue as it unfolds. They want to foster inter-ethnic harmony and understanding, and having spent time on the ground, hosted the press conference to share more information on the moves to bring about a resolution to the land dispute. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
We decide that we need to really make a stand because we found out that whenever we are sharing our problems, our issues, whatever we're going through, is like a voice in the wilderness. Pretty much nobody listens to us, nobody is hearing us, and we all know that the Maya leaders, they do have a platform, they have the podium. Whenever they speak, whenever they want to show something, it goes out to the rest of the world and the country.
Today, village leaders from several non-Mayan communities in Toledo District were at the head table for a press conference in Belize City, expressing concerns about the way things have progressed in terms of land disputes in the South. They say that the indigenous Maya people have been using the CCJ consent order to expand their claim for land well into what has traditionally been non-Mayan territory.
Presently, the Lands Department state that no taxes will be collected because the entire Mafredai village falls under communal land. How could that be possible? There was not even one consultation made with Mafredai. We do not want communal land system in Mafredai. We want to pay our land taxes and remain a private village. We have been deprived of our rights.
We noticed that slowly a Mayan village is encroaching on our village land in the Aramado area. And we have reported it to GOB, and we have took some pictures of it, and we have been in file. I want to make it very clear that San Felipe has nothing to do with the Aramado area. We have people from Jacintoville with properties in the Aramado area. We have people with as much as 500 acres in property. So we are declaring Jacintoville, Aramado as completely Jacintoville. Nothing to do with San Felipe.
A map reportedly presented to the CCJ back in June of this year gave an indication of the land being claimed for the indigenous Maya people. Its majority of the Toledo district, as depicted by the yellow in the map.
Upon one of my visits to the Lands Department, I was presented with that map. And that is when I saw how much of Barranco's land has been demarcated and is called Mayan land. The Mayans, because they feel like this ruling gives them ultimate jurisdiction over everything, they continue to do and claim more land. And I must add that a lot of these villages have a lot of Guatemalan, Quechua Guatemalans, right? They're inhabited by a lot of Quechua Guatemalans who are now privy to this ruling as well. So they also claim the right to land.
A few weeks ago, following a verbal exchange between villagers from Yemery Grove and Laguna, officials from the Ministries of Natural Resources and Indigenous Peoples Affairs met with both sides, and a temporary border was agreed upon as an interim measure to de-escalate tensions in the area. Yemery Grove Chairman Harold Usher says that they have not signed off on the draft agreement as yet because it did not reflect what was agreed to in the meeting held on October 13th.
We all used to share, sing, and learn to love each other and live in harmony. Since 2015, we have a small group of people who actually dictate the pace, right? The border between Yemery Grove and Laguna, I believe since then, probably they move it like 5 different times, right? So every day, every month, every week, Laguna they grow, right? When it comes to the land size.
Before they started the land's boundary or the visitation of the land, the guys from Belmopan on the ground, from the lands department, they drafted a letter for Yemery Grove and Laguna to sign, which they drafted 3/4 of Yemery Grove into Laguna. They then only drew a red line on some of the disputed area. How in the world will Yemery Grove sign a letter showing 3/4 of their community being owned by Laguna?
Now, these community leaders say that they are forming a coalition to address the land dispute and to ensure that they too are not being disenfranchised, deprived of their rights.
From our knowledge as Belizean, as Creole, mediation mean we are come and we are sit down and we are talk and we are figure out how this thing will work. But it is a lopsided, one-way mediation. I'm calling on the Prime Minister and Mr. Cordell Hyde and Ms. Dolores Baloramos. We have no problem with communal land. Let them have their communal land if they want. But please respect our village. Please respect our village boundaries.
Barranco also has younger generation who have a right to land as well as any ordinary Belizean. We are born with that right to land. We have a right to own a piece of this jewel.
I stand in solidarity with the other East Indian, Creole, and Garifuna communities that are not in favor of the communal land system. We, the people of Mafredai, we need our land. We live off our lands, so we can't give up an inch of it. And we won't give up an inch of it.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The village leaders say they are not disputing the consent order of the Caribbean Court of Justice and Maya communal land rights. They do, however, believe that preferential treatment is being given to the indigenous Maya people. There are some who say that there is an ethnic battle taking place down south. But the non-Maya village leaders say that is not the case, and that both Maya and non-Mayan communities have been living harmoniously for decades.
I have 21 first cousins that is half Mayan. We are not racist. We live like people and we treat people like people. So we are asking Dolores Baloramos, we will not sign anything till when those lines that are stating that has 3/4 of Yemery Grove marked out for Laguna, we cannot allow that. Definitely we will not allow that.
We have never had an issue with them living in our community, so the problem is not racism or trying to have segregation because of ethnicity. That is not the problem. The problem is we will not allow people to take advantages of us, and we have children. Our little community is our cake. They have a big chocolate cake with icing in the Lagunas, 5 times the size of our community. You will come and eat Puwili cake and still got your cake there? We will not sit by idly and have them take advantage of us.
We would like all the state actors represented.
These villages are primarily used for agricultural production. Rice farming, cattle ranching, and even honey production are the livelihoods of these villages. But what about the youth, and how are they affected? Today we spoke with several students who are pursuing degrees in agriculture with the hope of toiling farms in their communities. They share their take on the discourse.
Most of us in Emerald Grove are actually students at UBCF. So that's Central Farm. It's an agriculture school, and most of us have dreams to pursue agriculture as our future workplace, you know. And with this whole MLA situation, we had to take times out from our class to be here, and this was to me personally, it was a very successful presentation, a press conference, and it really shines a light of what's going on in Toledo in a whole. And you know, most of us, we want our own land in our own community. And with this whole MLA situation, in the next couple of years, where would we get land from? So it's just, that is the biggest thing on my mind here. Some of us might want to deal with cattle one day. Some of us may want to go into apiary one day, and we need our land. So this is very concerning for the people of our age.
Right now, we can all see that the land for farming is getting short, and with this new generation and how things are going, we won't even be able to get a house lot. And all of us here, we are basically finished with our degree. We want to pursue agriculture. I want to get into livestock, and obviously the land won't be there if this dispute continues. And we have other guys in our village that like agriculture. They won't be able to pursue their dreams.
I feel like for youths, people not listen to youths, right? And if I say that I want people feel the way I feel or hear how I feel, right? That youths not recognize, right? I proud of my chairman for like invite me on this trip today, because I feel like the world, all the different people there where they listen, know that from the youths they suffer.
Wednesday morning's freak accident at the BDF Air Wing in Ladyville has brought the conversation about safety precautions, as well as the need for employers to provide protective gear for their employees, back to the fore. Today, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which has been championing the passage of the law along with the National Trade Congress, Union Congress of Belize, weighed in on the matter. The Chamber's chief policy analyst, Joshua Pott, told News 5 today that with the draft bill completed, it's their hope that the law will be enacted very soon, and that employers and employees know what roles they play when the law takes effect.
The compilation of the OSH law has been completed from a task force that involved both the BCCI, the NTUCB, and the Labour Department. The last that we've heard is that the government is going to embark on a further revision, pulling together their own task force to review the bill before it's finalized and introduced at the House. Well, I think it's important when we're talking about the OSH to recognize that its primary purpose is to clarify the responsibilities of both employees and employers as it relates to occupational safety and health. And we also need to appreciate that OSH is something, again, that needs to be jointly worked on. It's a coordinated effort between employees and employers to hold each other to account, to ensure that employers are providing the employees with the necessary work equipment, the necessary protective gear, and that employers are holding employees to account in wearing them in their proper utilization. So I think when we talk about OSH, we do need to recognize that shared responsibility. On the safety and health side, the bill covers both exposure to chemicals, for example, and issues like simply wearing protective gear. When it comes to something as important as occupational safety and health, then employers generally recognize its importance, recognize the importance of keeping employees safe, and they recognize their responsibility in ensuring that the people who work with them are safe, and just to avert unnecessary and harm and loss of life.
The National Trade Union Congress of Belize reignited its call for the Occupational Safety and Health Bill to be enacted following Wednesday's tragedy at the Belize Defense Force Air Wing. Today, NTUCB Senator Luke Martinez urged fellow parliamentarians to get behind the trade union's call, noting that every day the legislation is not passed, workers will continue to be buried.
Our concern
not only today but for a while, is the Occupational Health and Safety Bill that needs to be enacted now. Madam President, we have been meeting with the Minister responsible for labor, whose ministry has the mandate to ensure that this bill goes to Cabinet, that it comes to the National Assembly, so that we approve the legislation. For every day that we continue to ignore the fact that health and safety is not important, we have workers in this country who continue to fall to their deaths and to serious injuries. Madam President, we met with the Prime Minister a few months ago, and he has given us his commitment that in September, this government would have tabled the OSH. Madam President, we are in October. A life was lost a day ago. Someone is in hospital right now, Madam President, because of negligence at the workplace. Sorry cannot bring back a life. Meaningless compensation cannot bring back a life, Madam President. But if we ensure that there is safety in the workplace, we will save lives.
The Senate has approved an amendment to the Referendum Act that will mandate the government of Belize to trigger a referendum in the event that there is intent to explore Belize's maritime space for oil. In 2022, Oceana launched a petition to trigger a referendum to this end. In July, the NGO delivered 22,000 signed petitions to the Governor General. But instead of triggering a referendum to have voters decide on the matter, GOB simply placed it in the law. NGO Senator Janelle Chinona, who is also the vice president of Oceana, says the legislative amendment fulfills the same objective.
Truly, these amendments here are validation that the people of Belize want to have a conversation about offshore oil and anything that would happen in the future there, and want to participate fully in that. So I really want to begin by thanking everyone who signed the petition. 22,090 registered voters signed that petition, and truly we are here because they stood up to be counted on this. So it's really and truly, and I know men, women, and youth are in that population of people, but also to underscore that it was a call, a demand, an urging throughout, repeated and reiterated, that this want for involvement is there, and I am happy that that was heard, as the Minister in presenting this to the House said, message received, and that it has been respected. And I think that is a sign of leadership, and we certainly will do our part to make sure that it will be promoted as an opportunity for an example for others to follow, and truly setting precedent in a way that I think is appropriate. And so in recognizing those people who stood up to be counted, I also want to fully acknowledge that some people are not happy that we're not going to a vote right now, and they've let me know that, and I want to acknowledge it and recognize it, but also to highlight that the amendments that are before the Senate today is a commitment that a vote will happen.
After the break, overcoming physical disability through art. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Managing your mental health this October and November 2023. Mental health and well-being is a universal human right and are fundamental to enjoying a good and meaningful life. It's not always easy to understand our emotions or to accept or express how we feel. Not sure how to ask for help when you're struggling? Stop. Don't ignore your emotions. If you want to talk about how you are feeling, send a free SMS with the word TIPS to YouReport at 886 or scan the QR codes to access our mental health support.
Thank you for calling me. This is a inspection first. Once the inspection passes, we do the connection for you.
Our teams at BEL continue to serve you.
My Social Security Self-Service Portal, Employer Transactions Unpacked, Employers and Self-Employed Persons, an enhanced contribution payment system that manages all your employer information is here. Employers and self-employed persons will have access to view all transactions and statements and the option to always know your owing balance using your employer number. Payments will be automated and applied to your account balance in a new way. Here are two scenarios to highlight how payments will be distributed. Employers with outstanding funds owed to SSB, payments will be applied to the outstanding arrears, fees, and interest, and the balance, if any, will be applied to the statements submitted. Employers without any outstanding funds owed to SSB, payments will be applied to the statements submitted. The technological enhancements you are waiting for are here. My Social Security Self-Service Portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Tonight's episode of Belize on Reel is a profile of a well-known painter in San Pedro whose life at the age of 28 changed forever when he was the victim of a vicious stabbing. 45-year-old Kurt Cruz makes a living for himself by selling his artwork. In 2006, he was stabbed in the back on Independence Day, an injury that left him paralyzed. We'll show you how he's been able to recover and use that experience as motivation to pursue the establishment of an art studio on La Isla Bonita. Here's News 5's Isani Cayetano.
When Kurt Cruz attended Independence Day Parade on the island in September 2006, the San Pedro resident did not foresee that taking part in the annual celebration would change his life forever. Like many others, he set out from his home that morning to enjoy the revelry that was taking place in the center of town. Little did he know that something terrible would befall him.
Originally, I'm from the west side, and I used to paint with my right hand, and then I was in a parade and I got hurt in the spinal cord.
Cruz was stabbed in the back by an unnamed assailant. That injury rendered him paralyzed, and he remained wheelchair-bound for a period of time before he was able to feel his hand. Movement in that arm sparked something in Cruz's mind.
After 6 months, I started moving my hands, and I managed to overcome the disability by using artwork. Painting for 2 years left-handed gave me the ability to get up and walk out of my wheelchair. And then I eventually overcome the disability, and now I walk with my sticks and I don't use no wheelchair no more. And the art has made me come very far because it gave me the ability, the strength to overcome the disability and the will to get up, you know, and not just sit down and think I'm paralyzed.
The story of 45-year-old Kurt Cruz is one of will and strength of mind to overcome adversity. As a well-known artist on the island and someone whose livelihood in the first instance depended on the use of his right arm, he has learned to adapt. In doing so, he also found motivation to keep pushing forward despite his physical limitations.
I'm grateful because the artistic skill that I had made me be mentally strong, and the art kept me focused. It didn't make me think that I can't do nothing or anything. I know I just started, when I started moving my hands, I started painting with an easel on my chest, and after 2 years I started walking with my sticks. And it was kind of challenging, but the mind is a very powerful thing and we need to put it to work. And once we have a skill or an ability to do something, we just can't let it go just like that. We need to put it to good work and use your skills you have.
With that, Kurt decided to continue with his passion. Having learned to use his left hand, the painter set up shop at a storefront on Barrier Reef Drive and returned to work. Soon enough, locals and visitors alike took note of his immense talent and began commissioning his works. Today, he's adding the finishing touches on a piece that he's doing for a repeat customer, a visitor who's arriving on the island later this week.
The turtle is a tattoo that the lady had on her feet, and she gave me a picture of it, so I did that for her in the water. And the dogs is her dogs that she have in the US, and she made me paint them on the beach because she wanted the dogs to be on the beach, right? And this is what I do in San Pedro. People come and they get my number and they give me a picture and I paint it for them, and then it makes the experience of coming to Belize more exciting. People get to meet artists, they get to see the artwork in progress, they get to see what Belize is all about and the culture and everything,
Kurt is taking that very same enthusiasm and using it to establish an art studio in the years to come. He is optimistic that this initiative will help others in similar conditions and even persons who aren't disabled, but share a love for visual arts.
In the future, in probably the next 4 to 5 years, I should have my studio open to teach people with or without disability to paint. It's going to be for everyone, for old and for young people. people with autism, people with disabilities could come and they could paint for free, sit down, eat something. And, you know, just getting a disabled person out of their house and bringing them to do artwork is very important because it brings them out of that enclosed environment, which is very stressful for a person disabled to be locked up every day and stay in one room and not do nothing, not occupy their mind, try and find something to do is very hard.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
A patient at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital reached out to News 5 today to share her concern, an urgent need for help in order to receive a surgery to save her left leg. Maribel del Carmen Torres told News 5 that late last week, she was cleaning a ceiling fan for a family in Shaibe village, Corozal, when she fell and broke her left foot. Because the bone broke so badly that it tore through the flesh, Torres was transferred to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital in Belize City. That's where a surgery is supposed to take place to fix the broken bone. But that's where the problem begins. Torres says she personally has no money and no relative in Belize who cares enough to help her with the funds to purchase the pins that doctors need to secure the bone in place. She said that when she moved in 3 months ago and started working for the family in Shaibe, they had agreed on a salary for her labor. But the family never lived up to that agreement and only provided her with food and shelter. When she suffered the fall on the job last week, they took her to the Corozal Town Hospital and promised they'd follow up on her condition. But they never did. And when she tried to reach them by phone, the man told her to stop calling him because she was pestering him. Now, Torres said the doctors have informed her that she has 2 fractures below the knee on her left tibia, and she needs to undergo the surgery to repair the broken bone using the pins. News 5 reached out to the KHMH to find out the situation with Torres in their care. And we were informed that the hospital's social worker is looking into getting the necessary equipment to get the surgery done. We were told that in the past, when people in dire straits, like Torres, have been hospitalized at the KHMH, the hospital has also advocated for patients to receive the medical interventions that they needed. Torres told us that she has been living in Belize since 2014 and married a Belizean who destroyed all her documents when their marriage failed. When we return, firearm amendment bill debated in Senate.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Ouch.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
With NextGen, every day is a chance to explore the wonders of the digital world, providing a reliable connection to make learning fun, to turn ordinary moments into extraordinary adventures, to discover new passions and exciting new worlds together. Unlock a world of possibilities at home with the fastest, most affordable high-speed internet and entertainment plans. NextGen, the ultimate digital experience.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
The government of Belize is seeking to borrow $7 million from the Inter-American Development Bank to execute a blue economy project that will promote sustainable growth. The loan motion was brought from the House of Representatives to the Senate today. No one objected to the blue economy investment, but the opposition senators were not going to let yet another loan motion pass through the Senate without saying something about it. Senator Christopher Koyi also gave his input.
Here again for another loan, $7 million, 14 million Belize dollars. Madam President, first of all, we have to note that on section 20404, it states that this loan will be dispersed over a 5-year period, meaning that it's about 1.4 million per year. So now we are here again saying, why of money? It's going to be over a 5-year period anyway. But yet we're coming again with a loan, saddling the Belizean people with another loan.
You refer to this loan here as more loans, more loans. But what had been happening in the past was a bucket full of loans leading up to 2020, including 2020, but no growth. So that's why we couldn't pay the bills. That's why the past administration couldn't pay the bills. But in the functioning of a government, you're always dealing with debt. Day in, day out, you're always dealing with debt. But you have to know how to manage your debt. Clearly, the past administration had no clue how to manage debt, how to manage the public finances. This administration does.
Senator Koyi, if you don't want to hear the same thing from this side of the Senate and from the Belizean